I've re-recorded this several times because I keep forgetting what I'm going to say. So here's the deal. Right now, it is Thursday, January 23rd at 1:35 in the morning. And 1:35 may not seem like a very late time, but it definitely is when you are running off of like a total of 5 hours of sleep in the past few days. So I think that shows some pretty good strength. So I chose to film the introduction last. I think that whenever I write papers, I like to save the introductions for last because you don't know what you want to write in your introduction until you know the contents of your paper. So that's what I'm doing with this interview. I think it's cool how old people, they end where they begin. Like, they are born like babies and they can't do anything for themselves, and that's how they die. They can't do anything for themselves. They can't walk. They can't feed themselves or can't wipe their butts. Something like that. So that's what I'm doing here. I think another interesting concept is interviews, because people, they give you questions and you have to answer them. You don't know what the questions are going to be. It's kind of impromptu, and you just have to roll with the words as they come out of your mouth. And I think that's kind of interesting because I think what you say on the spot shows a lot about you. You can see lots of things in people's character, how they how they express their words, their facial expressions, if their eyebrow twitches sometimes, or if they squint a little bit. Look up to the left, I heard that's a sign of lying. So I think that's very interesting to see how people react when they're speaking impromptu about themselves. So we're going to be able to see that in this little interview with me and Chanlin. So enjoy. I'm from Gainesville, Texas, and I do like living here. There's nothing really to do, so I kind of have to find some stuff, like go to Walmart whenever I don't really need to and walk around and stare at people, but other than that, I mean, I think it's okay.
I'm gonna get out of here as soon as I can, mostly because, like, I don't want my family to, like, go to a smaller school. I want them to have more opportunities. My earliest childhood memory is me being at mini cheer camp, and that I was, like, in, like, first grade, and they called me out of it, and they were like, "Hey, you're going home with Peyton Twiner." I was like, "What?" And they were just like, "Yeah, your uncle's having a kid, and, like, nobody can come get you." And I was like, and so whenever I went home with Peyton, she, like, showed me her brother's tarantula. I think that left a deep-rooted fear for spiders, especially tarantulas.
Wow. When I was 15, my parents got divorced.
Oh, my favorite childhood food is chicken strips and a ranch.
Well, see, I do think that I have a worse view of men because of this.
I'm a really picky eater, so, like, I don't know how that would reflect my childhood. I mean, my childhood was very white, I guess.
And honestly, I've always had a terrible view of men. I've always thought they're pigs, and they only think with their private parts.
I'm naturally drawn to, like, music, mostly because, well, I sometimes look at music for the lyrics, sometimes look at music for the sound, and it just depends on, like, the beat of the song. But I really like to sing, even though some people say I'm not very good at it. But I find myself really drawn to music. It's always been a big part of my life.
My brother, he liked 2000s music. He introduced me to Fall Out Boy. He also really likes Panic! At the Disco. My mom, she's a very big AC/DC fan, so she made me a mixtape when I was little, and it had a bunch of songs like Shook Me All Night Long or Back in Black, and so we would listen to that while we had the top down on her car, and it was just memorable. So,
my favorite song is Traveling Soldier, and the, like, main memory that I associate with it was just a couple months ago. my boyfriend, like, told me that he knew how to play guitar, like, just randomly. And so I told him that was my karaoke song, and he was like, okay. And then, like, a couple weeks later, I walk into his house, and he's playing Traveling Soldier on his freaking guitar. And I was like, no way. No way you're doing that. I cannot listen to Happy or Bye, but still, because that freaking dog that died in the freaking music video, that traumatized me as an 8-year-old kid. Come on. Why would you... Hello?
I very much believe that if you didn't watch SpongeBob as a kid, you right now are just screwed. You are totally and royally screwed. Because where did your humor even come from? Who even are you, honestly? Why did your parents ever love you? Your parents didn't love you because you weren't allowed to watch it. So, like, you're screwed. I'm sorry. That's my belief. I think it's kind of stupid how we're expected as 16-year-olds to come up with what we want to do for the rest of our lives. So, from the time I was a 4th grader, I wanted to be an electrical engineer. But then a few months ago, I realized that I'm not really sure that I want to do that anymore because I don't like math and I'm not good at math. And so I'm thinking I want to be a cinematographer maybe, or a director or a screenwriter, and make movies. Or I want to be a journalist because I think those are very interesting and creative jobs that I probably won't make a lot of money on, but that's okay. So
usually I'm quieter whenever there's people, like, watching me. And when I'm by myself, I can... It's hilarious, but I talk to my phone. Like, if somebody on TikTok is being stupid, I'm like, you're an idiot. Stop being that. And then if I am around people, I just am quiet. Her name's Hallie Sandberg. She's from Utah. She just recently bought her second house by herself. Well, not by herself. She's with her fiance. She's 19. But I feel like personality-wise and, like, aesthetic-wise, we are a lot the same. So, that's who I would be.
what is your opinion on the Mormons?
What? She's not Mormon.
What?
Is this on Luna?
Yeah.
Luna Bearbrick.
The last time I tried recording my conclusion, the camera thing said it was full. So I just had to, I was actually going on and I was talking about something really cool, but then it just cut out, so whatever. So here's like the 8th time I think I've said this. So I have reviewed all the footage on my video. I've gone over it about like once and like an 8th times. And I've decided that what I said in my introduction was false. I don't really believe that interviews really serve any purpose. I mean, like, show anything. They serve a purpose. I don't think they show anything about a person's true nature. Because even though you can read people's faces, you can do that kind of stuff on purpose. And people lie all the time, even though things are impromptu. So it doesn't really show anything. I know a lot of people, they'll tell you that a person's actions really define them and show, like, their true nature and their true colors. But I also don't think that either. Like, I can do whatever I want, but I can have ulterior motives for it. I can disguise anything, you know? I think there's no real way to tell who a person is. I know there's a Japanese myth, which I asked chanlin one of these questions. I said, how are you different whenever you're around people versus whenever you're by yourself? It's based off like this Japanese myth or story or something that like there's 3 different versions of yourself. There's one whenever you're with your family, one when you're with your friends, and then one when you're by yourself or something like that. And it was saying that the one by yourself is like the true nature of who you are and is the purest version of yourself. So I think that's really I think that nobody will ever truly know anyone, because you can't read someone's mind. You can't see what's going on in there. And I think interviews and stuff to get to know people, it's a nice sentiment, but it's nothing really powerful. So